Once again, it's your homie, Mr. BoA, back in the building again. Wasn't quite prepared, but now I am. Let's get ready to rock this thing out, man. Get a homies a few minutes to slide up in here before we get physical. The camera right there, looking right. All right, I'm going ahead and change the title of this thing right quick. Yeah, man. You know we in here again, like we always do at this time. You know, I'm not look at the glass half full as opposed to looking at it half empty. So that's why I can come in here and do these types of things, man, and post this type of content, man, and talk about these things because I do believe in seeing the glass half full instead of seeing it half empty. So there is a positive silver lining in every dark storm cloud in life. You just have to understand that and not allow your emotions to take advantage of you to where you can't even focus on that particular storm cloud, man. That's where we are right now, trying to live our lives, man. Yeah, give me a second right here, man. I'm trying to put something together. That's why I'm not conversing with y'all in the chat right now, man. I'm on another screen right now trying to get something situated. Give me a brief little minute here. And I'll be right there with your homies. I'll be right there with your homies in just a second. All right, here we go. All right. Let me get back over there to your homies. All right, we in the building. George Tidwell is in the building. What up, GT? Oh, let me move my phone, man. The homie Shanzi is in the building. What's good, homie? DJ All Good is in the building. Shalom, my brother. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, man, put a one in the chat for me. Trying to make sure I don't turn my mic up too loud, man. It kind of sounds a little bad when I do that. But if you can hear me loud and clear in the chat, man, go ahead and put a one in the chat for me, man. Let me go over here to my other screen, man, where I can actually see myself moving and grooving, man. Salt and pepper on display, man, as usual. We are doing what we do. Like we always do at this time. I go for mine. I got shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'm gonna get on TV, mama. I'm gonna put it down. Hollywood Hawks is in the building. What up, Hollywood? I appreciate the super chat, brother. Started out without my microphone on, man. So you know how that goes. You know, I mean, I believe in looking at the glass half full, as I was stating earlier, man. I believe in looking at the glass half full. So there is a positive light you can shine on just about everything we deal with in this society as men. Got 19 watching, man. Only got 6 thumbs up, man. Y'all go ahead and hit the thumbs up for me, man. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Had to label these sheets, man. I have stuff all over the place. All right, homies. We're going to give the people a few more minutes to get in here, man. Then we're going to rock out. Lunchtime hour. Book of Alpha running me. High Altitude Show. Back once again. I am your host with the most, Mr. BoA. Get the homies a few minutes to get up in here, man, before we go ahead and get physical with this thing, man. West Indian Archie is in the building. Peace, brother. Peace. Good to see you in the joint with us. Hollywood Hawkins, the cool young dude with the wrench. Don't make him turn into the Grinch by coming in here with that beta shit. We ain't going to deal with it. We have been excommunicating people, man. Mr. Juice is in the building. What up, Juice? We really just be trying to, man, we're just trying to live our lives in here, man. So I wanted to touch this topic, man, because there's a lot of talk. Men are doing a lot of complaining about child support, and I do agree that the child support laws need to be changed, need to be amended, and but right now they're not. So instead of being 100% negative about the things that we need to do about this and complaining about it, there is a silver lining to all of this. There are benefits to everything that we deal with as men. Everything under the sun has positives and negatives. And paying child support is just like everything else. It has its positives and negatives. And we're going to discuss those now, man. Let me put this phone on mute, man, for these people starting to try to hit me up, man. I would rather hear my phone ring than hear it vibrate, man. The vibrate tone on the phone it does something to me, man. I don't like it at all. The vibrate tone is a problem for me, man. George Tidwell, I appreciate the super chat, brother. George Tidwell said logic gets you from point A to point B. No doubt, brother. Logic is a toolkit. Imagination is a private plane. Low key T is in the building. What up, homie? Get a few more minutes to get in here, man, and then we're going to talk about this topic. I haven't heard anyone else speak on the benefits of paying child support. All I hear is men complaining about paying child support. And granted, there are some things to complain about. But let me look up some while we get a homies these last few minutes to get in here, man. Just a little something. See, we're going to talk about this. We're going to get into the numbers of this child support thing, man. Gonna get into the numbers of this thing because there's a whole lot of a lot of brothers doing a lot of complaining about it, man, and it's not like they take all your money, man. So let's get into this thing, man. Mr. Juice said first thing with both my baby mamas got with my program, I ain't folding for not one from about even my kids. This is the thing, man. Shanzir, I appreciate the super chat, brother. Appreciate it. So let's talk about this, man. Now, these are old. These are old numbers but it hadn't gotten much worse. You know what I mean? It's not like every year child support percentage grows up. Roughly is about the same thing. You're going to pay about 17% of your income. Seems like a lot, but it's really not a lot because it's just 17% of your income. So I'll give you an example. If you make $15,000 a year, 15,000, you're going to pay 17% of that income, which is $212.50 a month, which nets out to $2,500 a year. Now, if you do the math on that, that's only about $50,000 in 20 years. We ain't gonna do the numbers for 18 right now because I don't have them in front of me, and I ain't gonna try to calculate it. But that's only $50,000 for 20 years. The average cost of raising a child from birth to 17 is $233,610. So out of that $233,610, if all you're required to pay is $50,000, that leaves the mother to be on the hook for $180,000. So if you're telling me you got a problem with paying $50,000 out of the $180,000 that it takes to care for a child, then you're the one with the problem. Instead of settling for making $15,000 a year, get on your grind, make more money. Of course, the more you make, it's going to be 17% of that. So let's say you make $100,000 a year. 17% of that. Now, I will do the math on that. Now, but let's keep it moving. The latest statistic comes from a 2010 census. On that Census Bureau report, the average monthly child support is $430. The average now. But of course, it's still 17% of your income. But we're talking about 17% of your income. You spend more than 17% of your income if you drink or smoke weed. You spend more than 17% of your income on drinking and smoking. You spend much more than 17% of your income on shoes and clothes. You spend much more than 17% of your income on grocery. Hell, you spend much more than 17% of your income on gas every month. If you make $15,000 and all you got to pay is $212. You see, so child support is not a bad thing unless you're just a man that doesn't want to pay it. So we look at Russell Simmons and see him paying $100,000. Yeah, that's a lot for me or you, but for him, it's just 17% of his income. See what I'm saying? Whatever a man pays, it's 17% of his income. They can't take 50% of your income for child support. They can't take 40% of your income for child support. It's roughly 16, 17, 18% of your income. Rohan Ray is in the building. What's good, bro? So let's talk about the benefits of this. So, as I stated, the average cost of raising a child, and this is last year. In 2017, the average cost of raising a child went up to $233,610. Now, let's think about this. Let's do some numbers. We just talked about $212. Let's say you pay $700, which is a nice round number, and I happen to be familiar with someone who pays $700. I ain't gonna call no name, but I know someone who pays $700 a month for one child. So while you complain about $212.50, I personally know someone who pays a little bit over $700, but we'll just round it down to $700. 700 times 12 is $8,400. That's $8,400 a year you're paying versus your $2,550 if you're paying $212.50. Now, in 18 years, that's $151,200. It still takes $233,610 to raise a child. That's just basic raising. Now, let's talk about the difference in races. If you're black, it's going to cost you more than that to raise a child because white folks buy their children Skechers when they're young, when they don't have no sense of fashion and they're not tied into being fashion slaves. And white folks white kids don't generally tend to get caught up in being fashion slaves. There are white boys in high school that wear cowboy boots to school every day. You know, there are white boys in high school, man, they don't care. They just want to wear jeans. They wear Wranglers. They wear Levi's. They ain't trying to wear red bottom shoes. They ain't trying to wear Jordans every way. So it's probably going to cost you closer to $250,000 if you raise a child as somebody black. But still, here we go. $151,000. That's if you pay $700. See, if $700 is only 17% of your income, it's not setting you back. It's 17% of your income. Let's say you pay $1,000. If you're paying $1,000 a month, then you're making a grip. It's only 17% of your annual income. That's all it is. 17% of your annual income. So let's get into this. So brothers can stop complaining about the amount they pay. Unless you can find a brother who says, I pay 50% of my income. I make $40,000 a year and they take 20 for child support. Even brothers who don't pay child support be pointing the finger at dudes. I heard some content earlier today, man, earlier this morning, man. And he was saying, well, he got this and he ain't got no money and he got child support. Man, child support ain't nothing. It's 17% of your income, man. 17%. You spend more than you spend damn near that getting haircuts. Or if you got locks, getting your hair twisted. You spend, man, listen, it's peanuts. It's $212 a month. If $212 a month is setting you back, you need to make more money. Any man with a child needs to make more than $15,000 a year. Hell, any man without a child needs to make more than $15,000 a year. Rohan, all right, Rohan. You told me that once too, man. Chris Ridley is in the building. What up, Riz? See Visuals is in the building. What's good, homie? Now let's talk about this thing, man. First thing the child support does. Now, disclaimer here, just so you guys know I understand. I know child support and the unfair nature of it, the way it is levied against men, is a hot button topic right now. Be that as it may, I implore you to once again join me in attempting to find a silver lining in this particular storm cloud for men, because I do believe in looking at the glass half full as opposed to looking at it half empty. Just as it takes just as much space to fill it up as it does to empty it. And filling it up is so much more rewarding. So let's talk about this. The number one benefit of paying child support is it gives you power to push back against being financially milked by your baby mom. See, if you're not paying a certain amount and you're not keeping up with what you're giving her, she can always come to you and say, hey, your baby needs this. You don't give your baby this. You don't do this. Hey, pay me this. Give me this. Blah, blah, blah. Give me this. And before you know it, just because we're responsible men, just because it's innate in us to want to care for our offspring, we'll set ourselves back and be struggling on our end to give her whatever she's asking for. It's easy to get caught up in that trap. Even if you think you're not, it's easy to get caught up in that trap, because there are many men out here who make that $15,000 a year and can obviously by law only afford $212.50 a month, but they're paying $500, $600, $700 a month, putting themselves in the hole. And what do they got to do? They got to go hustle, but go do something else. Anything to take them off their path, their focus, their grind that's going to take them a while to build up their business. They got to focus on that. But if you get that one amount to pay, bam, you pay that, you're good. Technically speaking, if you pay your child support, you don't have to come up with one other dollar under the sun. Nobody's going to force you to come up with more than your child support. So if you pay $212.50 a month, it ain't much, but that's all you can afford to pay at this present time. If you pay that, no one under the sun can come to you and say, you got to give her more money. It is etched in stone that this is the amount by law that you must pay. And I'm going to tell you, unless you make a boatload of money, women, but listen, the thing is, even if you make a boatload of money, your woman will probably make a little bit of money too. So the cost of living is going to be more for her. See, this is the average cost of raising a considering the private school education. This is just what it costs to rear a child. You throw in private school, you throw in extracurricular activities, you throw in a bunch of other things, and before you know it, you got quite a few things going on, man. Doug is in the building. What up, Doug? Now, they only going to take 17% of your money. If you got two children, they're going to take that 17%. They're going to split it amongst them children. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to take 17% per child. Let's say if you got 10 kids, you make $15,000 a year. Hell, man, they got you paying that per child, man. You got 10 kids, you paying $2,000 a month. How the hell you can pay $2,000 a month? You ain't making but 15. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay $24,000 a month. You can't pay $24,000 a year when you're only making 15. So they take that 17%, and that's what they take for you child support. And when you have multiple kids, they spread it out amongst those kids. So if you're paying $1,000 a month and you got two kids, each mother gets $500. Men don't understand this because we've been told that the child support is a big monster. Child support is not a big monster. It is only a monster if you feel like you shouldn't be told what to pay. It's the best way to do it. You get that one amount. So that's the main thing. You get that one amount to pay, and it gives you the power to push back when she comes in. Well, your child needs this, blah, blah, blah. Shall I pay my child support? Well, that ain't enough. That's all I can afford right now. Even the courts say that. The courts see my income. When I can pay more, I'll pay more. But right now, this is all I can do. I got to live too. See, I was talking to my aunt, my favorite aunt, man, that I was telling you about, man. And it's always positive energy when I talk to her, man. We always stay on the phone, man. We don't talk much, man. Maybe 3 or 4 times a year, but we always talk, man, for an hour or two, man, just chopping it up. And it's always positive vibes, man. And my aunt, my favorite aunt, man, she's my dad's oldest sister, man. She's like, shit, man, she up there. I ain't gonna call her age out, man. She might be watching. She got everybody thinking she's 20 years younger than she is, but she look good like that. But she was saying, man, that young men have to understand, and this is coming from a woman, successful woman, but woman nonetheless. She says, man, that young men have to understand at some point you got to prioritize yourself. Now, this coming from my aunt. You know how much we talk about self-prioritization. This coming from my aunt who ain't never heard me say that word in my life. But here she is saying it bothers her that young men don't understand that you got to self-prioritize. Yeah, it may cost you a little bit of money paying child support, but hell, pay that child support and go on with your life. Now, this coming from a woman. I agree 100%. Our conversation is what made me decide to speak to you guys on this. Like, it is, man, child support is not a death sentence. It is a life sentence. Dealing with some crazy ass woman trying to dictate to you what you ain't doing and telling you what you got to pay and need more and begging you and hitting you up and calling you and trying to. That's what the problem is. You see, the thing is, the threat of child support scares me more than actual child support. The threat of getting the people involved. She tried to get the people involved. You should want the people involved. You ain't gonna, man, you can't control a woman forever, especially if you ain't with her. All you gotta do is do something. You take the power away from her to use child support as a weapon. I say go put yourself on child support. Shit, that's what I say. Rohan, if you got girlfriends, you having sex, man, you ain't too young to be listening. If you having sex, you ain't too young to be listening, because it can pop up on you, bro. I'm telling you. That first time you can wear a condom break, or you got some type of chick who, she see you doing good, see you got promise and potential, she want to have a baby by you, she poke a hole in the condom. I'm telling you, man, anything can happen. So if you having sex, you ain't too young. Now, if you're a kid, you need to get on out of here. Yeah, you obviously have sex, you strap up. But the thing is, brother, I know plenty of cats who strapped up and got babies, man. These chicks, well, let me tell you something. Strap up when you get through, tie the end of the condom up in a knot, roll it up in some toilet paper and flush it down the toilet. Tie it up. Always make sure you tie it up and never dispose of it in the trash can. Never. They're only going to take 10%, 17% of your income. So guys who be out here talking about, man, child support's got me, they taking all my money. No, they ain't. You lying. Any man who tell you they taking all the money with child support, he's a fucking deadbeat. He's a man that don't want to pay for his responsibilities. He don't want to provide for his children, even 17% of his income, because he's trying to live beyond his means and impress people. And then I'm going to tell you, there's nothing wrong with living the lifestyle of a baller. But if you're going to live the lifestyle of a baller, you better get the money of a baller and stop trying to pull hustle out here. Stop trying to ball till you fall. Stop trying to ball on a budget. If you got to ball on a budget, you can't ball. Take care of your children. They don't want but 17% of your income, fool. DeRay Vicious is in the building. My studio is on deck. T Studio is in the building. AGT is on deck. Los Cam is on deck. What up, Los? What up, City? Ray, T, A, home is in the building, man. It sound like I'm saying the alphabet in a different language. One hell of a guy is in the building. What up, homie? They must have just changed that, bro. They must have just changed. Every child you have in a different household is 17%, because it ain't always been like that. Let me see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you right now. And then it's different in every state, because in Texas, 25%. So this is the thing. Let's say you're in Texas. I'm gonna give you some examples. In Texas, it's 25%. Mississippi, Alabama is 17%. Could be something else in New York, like who knows. But here we go. This is how it goes. This is Texas. One child is 20%, two children, 25%, three children, 30%, four children, 35%, five children, 40%. For six or more children, the amount must be at least the same as for five children. All right, cool. So that's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. But see, Texas don't have no children in Texas, man. Texas started off at 20%. Then it goes up. And these numbers are just specific to Texas right here. I'm gonna look up one more example so we can I'm gonna look up Mississippi. I'll look up this one, then we'll continue the show, man. All right, here we go. I'm calculating on Mississippi. All right, here it is in Mississippi. In Mississippi, this is child support in Mississippi. One child equal 14%. Two children equal 20%. You see the difference in state? If you're in Texas, you start off with one child paying what you pay for two children in Mississippi. And in Mississippi, you never get to 30%. One child is 14%, two children is 20%, three children is 22%, four children is 24%, five children is 26%. So if you got five children, they only take 26% of your income. It's never going to be double the amount for the amount of children you pay in any state. Texas is one of the higher states, and they just go up by 5% increments. You're never going to pay 20% for one child, then 40% for two children, then 60% for three children, just because they're all in the same house. That might, I don't know, it might be possible in New York. Let me look up one more. I'm gonna look up New York. So we got Texas, which is, a kind of a big state, got a lot going on. We got Mississippi, which is one of the last frontiers as far as country living goes and cheap shit. Now we're gonna go to New York and see what the state of New York says. That way we can get a pretty well-rounded idea. We might do California as well. All right, let's do New York. All right, so here we go. In New York, one child is 17%, two children is 25%, three children is 29%, four children is 31%, and five or more children is at least 35%. So the more children you have, yeah, the number goes up everywhere, but it never gets to the point where you pay 17 for one, then you pay 34 for two, it never gets to that. Then you pay 51 for four. It never gets to that point where you end up getting all your income taken. But you can get up to 35, 45%, depending on where you are. Now, let's try California, man, and then we'll get back into the show. Kind of give us an around the country outlook on it. All right, let's see what we got in California. California would try to be complicated. Let me go back. They trying to make me work through a calculator for real on California, man. We ain't gonna worry about that. All right, let's go look somewhere. All right, let's look at this one. We'll get to the joint in a minute here, man. Shit, California won't even take California, man. You got to put some information in to find out the information in California, man. I'm gonna try one more, man. Then we're gonna leave it alone. California don't want to give up no information, man. They want you to put some information in so they can track you if they're looking for you, I believe. Yeah, California different. California, you get whooped in California. You got in California, you pay child support, then you get the child care costs, and then you get the reasonable uninsured health care costs. You got to contribute to all of that in California. So California is one of those different places, man. So I guess it differs around the globe, man. But at no point do you get all of your money taken. At no point does it go up to you paying 50% of your money in basic child support. Texas gets pretty high at 45, man. Let me tell you something. Man, I ain't having no child nowhere near Texas, man. And listen, I wouldn't even date a woman from Texas, man. I wouldn't even date a woman from Texas, man. I would, man. I would. Wherever state I live in, what I do is when she has the child, I'll calculate how much child support it is, man, and I'll go ahead and start kicking her down. See, this is the thing. If you and the woman aren't together, you better start kicking her down. Just when the child is born, the first month, man, just kick her down what the child support averages to. You know how much you make, just go ahead and kick it down to her because in most states, they'll hit you with arrears. So if you haven't paid, let's say the child's 2 years old and you haven't given her that amount, when they hit you up, they're going to hit you with arrears and charge you that amount times the 24 months that you don't have on record as paying. That's the part that's messed up about the system, but it's not really messed up if you know what it is. A lot of men complain about the child support system because they get hit with arrears. They get hit with a 5-year-old, they go to court, child support, they got to pay $500 a month. They multiply that time to 5 years that they haven't already paid. So now they got a huge debt on their credit report. That's what men complain about. The main thing is, even if you're with the woman, even if you're with the woman at the time she has the child, write her as a check for the child support amount. Work it just like y'all aren't together. Write her a check for the child support amount and have her go out and buy the things for the child. Because if y'all cohabitating, you paying the lion's share of the bills anyway. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a pimp. Otherwise, you paying the lion's share of the bills because that's just what we do as men. So, and because we want the control, whoever pays the lion's share of the bills has control. Unless you're a pimp, like I said, that you can control a woman's mind. But this show isn't about that. So I would say, man, as soon as she has the child, go ahead and do it, man. Go ahead and do it. Now, you got to make sure that you ain't knocking down some old scallywag, man. You got to see the child, man. Make sure the child look like you. You got to know the chick, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can never know it 100%, but I mean, you kind of know, man. I think we as men have an energy vibe with a child that's ours. The moment we see a child's not ours, man, we know it. The moment she's pregnant, man, the child start growing, and we know it. We just go against the grain, man. Yeah, yeah. And don't get it. Even at 25%, man, it's not like you getting killed paying 25%. You had a child. You technically should be providing 50% at least of what it takes to care for a child. If it takes $250,000 to care for a child for 18 years, you should be coming up off $125,000 over 18 years. You don't even want to pay half of what it takes to take care of a child. There was a time when fathers paid all of it. They took care of everybody. They took care of the entire household. I mean, you such a scrub that you don't even want to pay half. Now you ain't got to pay half. You ain't got to pay 25% of what it costs. All you got to pay is 25% of what you make, no matter what it is. And you sit around here complaining because you don't want to have to pay, because you want to be able to do what you want to do. You want to be able to provide what you want to provide. Hey, man, taking care of a child is an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. And any man who has his children in the house with him, or has had his children in the house with him, he understands that it's an everyday thing. Not only does it cost you money, it costs you time that you could be using to get money. Now, if your child doesn't stay with you and the mother's custodial parent, you got all this time to make more money. Stop sitting on your laurels, sitting around trying to hang out with Do-Dirt and them playing Madden. Get on your grind. Make some more money, man. KP Patton is in the building. KP Patton say, hire yourself and pay yourself minimum wage and keep the business money separate. And that works, fellas. Believe me. I happen to know someone who did it once upon a time. High frequency. In Maryland, they add in childcare as well. Yeah. In some of these places, they add up childcare and insurance as well. Like I pay insurance for my son now. Damn insurance man called me $250 a month by itself. Every month. Just for insurance. $250 a month for insurance. But he got to have it. It's got to be paid. It's my job to provide it. I don't have a problem with providing. If I can't provide, I need to make more money. That's just how it is. Yeah, Texas went up as high as 45%. That's high. That's high. I ain't lying, boy. You got 5 children in Texas, man. You finna be shot out. You bring home 50,000, man. You're gonna keep 25 for yourself. You better go make, man. You better go make your $500,000. You make $500,000, man. You get to bring home 250,000. Cali probably worse than that. I know the Cali divorce rate worse than that. That's why these chicks, that's why all these entertainers and athletes, that's why their wife always want to buy a house in California. All she got to do is make that house, if she spends at least half of the year in that house, half of the year, she can claim that's the primary residence, and when she get ready to divorce you, she can file for divorce in California. And all she got to do is cite irreconcilable differences, man. Irreconcilable differences is the only grounds for divorce in California, except somebody going mentally insane. Mentally insane with no chance of recovering. So anyway, let's keep it moving on this thing. VBG is in the building. What up, homie? Solid for Low is in the building. Shalom, homie. Shalom. Shalom. Low, shout out to all the men The pull-out game strong, man. Your pull-out game better be raw. Got to be. Yeah, the South, man, 14%. You start off at 14% in Mississippi and top out at 26%. Where else do you want to be when you have a child, boy? That's where my baby mama live. Ha ha, homies. All right, let's get into this thing, man. We're going to keep it moving here. Another thing about child support, besides giving you the power to push back against being milked by your baby mama, it teaches you a costly yet valuable lesson in the practice of contraception. If you want child support, you should be thinking every time you have sex that you better don't try to use your pull-out game. Use your strap-up game and then couple it with your pull-out game. Don't take no chances. When you get through, take that condom off. Make sure everything that you got coming out of you goes in that condom. Don't you stop. Don't pull it right off. You keep it on. Keep it on till you go to the bathroom. Pee in it a little bit. Before you take that condom off, go in the bathroom. Pee in it a little bit. Make sure you kill all that sperm. Shoot it in there. Tie that thing up on the end right there, man. Roll it up in toilet paper and put it in the toilet. Flush it twice. Flush it when it go down. Put some more toilet paper in there and flush it again. I'm telling you what you got to do. Another thing you could do is take that condom in the bathroom, rinse it out. Rinse it out, pour it in the sink, rinse it out, pour it in the toilet, then dump the condom in the toilet. You got to get rid of the evidence because these women out here doing some crazy things to some brothers out here, man. I know some brothers been caught up in some things, man, that I couldn't believe until I found out another brother got caught up in it. You got to protect yourself, man, especially if you well-to-do, got something going on, getting to the money. You better understand, boy, you're a prime catch. You're a prime catch for some 18 years of support, homie. I'm telling you, it's scandalous out here in the world, man. Do what you got to do, man. Get rid of the evidence, man. Now, they can't get child support with Jason, right? That's a good question. They can't get child support without a paternity test, but I feel like every man should have a paternity test. I don't care if you married. I don't care if you think the child yours. Have a paternity test. Unless that child's the spin image of you. I mean, the spin image of you. I mean, got to look just like you. If that child spin image of you or got something that only you and your family have, yeah, most times you can tell as a man. But now, if you go to child support, I mean, in any type of child custody case, man, you're gonna have the right to, and they're gonna have to prove custody. They're gonna have to prove custody unless you sign the birth certificate. If you sign the birth certificate, it's going, man, listen, in some states, they won't even give you a paternity test because when you sign the birth certificate, that's your admission of paternity. Don't sign no birth certificate. Don't do it. Sign it later. You can always sign it and get another one. You got to protect yourself out here, man. Yeah, another thing. Now, I'll tell you one hell of a guy. If you do send her checks, you got to pay her in checks. You got to give her checks or money orders. Postal money orders, preferably. Postal money orders have that little receipt part right there. Get a money order with a carbon copy. You got to pay her with a money order, a cashier's check, a traveler's check. Maybe not a traveler's check. Well, a traveler's check or a personal check. It has to be trackable. And let me tell you something about gifts. You can keep a box of receipts big as a Christmas tree box. But when you go in there, they're going to tell you, what money have you given them? Those just gifts you brought for your child. We don't care about that. Receipts don't work in court unless you got receipts for like child care. Like you got to be dealing one-on-one with child care. You know what I'm saying? You got to be dealing one-on-one with the medical bill. Like if you got receipts for those things, those are formal receipts from, legal organizations, from federally recognized organizations. But when you just talk about stuff you bought, it don't work. You have got to either pay her with a check, and you got to pay her the amount that you're supposed to pay her, or they're going to either deduct it or add it. You got to be giving her something. Don't put cash money in her hand. Don't put cash money. I say one more time. Don't put cash money in her hand. You got to have a paper trail for everything you pay, homie. Yeah, he ain't taking no paternity test, man. He should go take one, man. See, this is the thing. You don't have to take a paternity test if you accept and admit that you fathered the child. Like you're not guaranteed, or you can waive your right to a paternity test. But I don't think any man should move forward if he wanted a paternity test and didn't take one. A lot of times we go in there. Let me tell you something, brothers, and this is the reality of it. I speak on this. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna talk about that right now. I'm gonna probably not today. I already got the shows lined up for today. I'll do it tomorrow on the 9. I might have the show lined up for tomorrow too. I do it Wednesday. I do it Wednesday at about 1 p.m. Wednesday at about 1 p.m. I'll do a show about how men need to weaponize their rights. See, you have rights as a man, but we're so busy fighting against attacks, legal attacks from everywhere, that we never focus on our legal rights. You have legal rights, and you have to capitalize and exercise those things if you can afford it. I think we as Black men should have an organization that provides income sources for men who are going into a court of law and don't have reasonable paid representation, because a court-appointed attorney has no interest in you being free. He has an interest in you being incarcerated. He has an interest in you being on probation. He has an interest in you being incarcerated, then being on parole. He has an interest in the system being able to milk you for as much time and money as they can. So we should have organizations available for men who find themselves in the court of law, in front of a crooked judge who has no interest on giving them a fair shake, unless you have legal representation that is on your side, because you are paying them your money. We must understand this, man. Anytime you go into a courtroom without legal representation that you are paying, you are almost doomed. You are almost doomed, brother. Dumb in his mindset and route. Game is in the building. What up, King? These are the type of things that we must do as Black men to protect ourselves. We're the only men who don't have any organizations to protect ourselves. Yet we're still looking at the system saying, what are you going to do for me? We're complaining about the things that we deal with, but we're not coming up with logical solutions to take care of these things. There must be solutions. If you're not part of the problem, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. That's what I would call this stream to Wednesday. Wednesday, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Be here. Make a note of it in your phone. Put it on your calendar. Put it in your planner. Wednesday, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Wednesday will be October 17th. 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will discuss. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And we will go deep into some things that we as Black men need to be talking about. And this is just the beginning of those things, talking about the 10 benefits of paying child support. Let's go to number 3. Again, number 2 was it teaches you a valuable lesson in practicing contraception. Once you have a child, especially if it's an unwanted child, if you have a child, which is crazy, we as men cannot keep telling ourselves that we made a mistake and have a child. You can't make a mistake and have a child. You can either be bamboozled into having a child by a woman who's done one of those unscrupulous tactics that we discussed earlier, or you can be careless and make a child. If you had unprotected sex with a woman and she get pregnant by you, you didn't make a mistake. You made a foolish decision. There's a difference in a mistake and a decision. A mistake is something that you did. You thought it was right. You thought you was doing one thing. You end up doing something else, and you had no idea what you were doing. That's a mistake. A mistake is something that you do without knowing you're doing it. A decision that you make that turns out bad for you on the back end because you were careless is just a dumb decision, not a mistake. Now, let's get into this. The number 3 benefit of paying child support is it protects you from ever being truthfully referred to or feeling like a deadbeat. No man, I don't care how strong you are, no man wants to feel like a deadbeat father. No man wants to be in a position where he cannot provide for his child. What if you cannot provide? What if you don't even have the $212? What if you're fresh out the pen and you don't have no money? What if you fresh out the pen, you got to move back in with your mama and want nobody to give you a job, but you got that child immediately upon release? That woman is going to come at you because you ain't did that in a long time. So what if she comes at you? You ain't got no money. It's a bad feeling, ain't it? It's a bad feeling to have a child that you ain't been able to provide for 10 years, and now you get out free and you still can't provide. No man wants to feel like a deadbeat. But if you pay child support, no one can call you a deadbeat. I don't give a damn. Your child support is $80. If your child support is $15, whatever it is, by law, if you pay it, you're not a deadbeat. You're paying what the court said you must pay. And since they always running, I want child support. I want child support. He ain't doing that. I'm going to get the white folks on you. I'm going to get the system on you. I'm going to take your black ass to court. That's what they tell you. We going to court. You don't want to pay me what I want? I'm going to take you to court. Okay, take me to court. Whatever they say I got to pay, that's what I'm paying. Don't you call me and ask me for another quarter shot. Don't you, if I do anything else, it's gonna be because I want to. Don't you call me and ask me for another quarter. See, it was your idea to go to the white folks. The white folks say, I gotta give you a 17%. Oh, in Mississippi, well, my baby mama at, I ain't got to give you 14%. Give you 14% of my income. That's all I'm gonna give you. You got one child, but I'm gonna give you 14%. You better have me for that else. This is what you got to understand, man. We have more control than we give ourselves in this society. We have a lot more control. Now, so it protects you from ever being truthfully referred. Nobody can call you a deadbeat when you pay child support. It don't matter how bad she struggles. What if she just bad with money? What if you pay $1,000 a month child support and she got a good job and she just bad with money? What if she try to take care of the Joneses? Now, so what she try to keep up with the Joneses? What if she try to take care of her whole family and she just bad with money? How about that? What if she got a habit don't nobody know about? It could be a shopping habit. It could be a weed habit. It could be an alcohol habit. It could be a club habit. It could be a travel habit. There's a bunch of habits that women have because they're habitual. They're habitual liars. They're habitual flyers. And they're habitual set you on fire if you don't strap up. What I ain't telling you is this. You as a man have to understand that you paying child support eliminates any possibility of you being a realistic deadbeat dad. People can say what they want to say. Your baby mama over there struggling. Hey, man, I pay child support. Now, let's move on. Number 4, this is the major thing it helps you do. And if you haven't thought of this, it's because you're not managing your money. It helps you budget and manage your available resources by giving you a set amount to pay monthly. If you got a house note, you know what it is monthly. If you got a car note, you know what it is monthly. If you got student loan payments, you know what it is monthly. If you get your hair cut, you know how much you spend monthly. If you buy groceries, you know how much you spend monthly, or you should. If you get gas for your car, you know how much you spend on gas. You got to budget everything. And you can't budget when you got a hole in your budget where you got a hole and you spend whatever need to be spent and you don't keep up with it. You pay this one amount, it helps you budget your money. You can keep up with what you're paying. You can keep up with what you're paying. If you're paying $500 a month, guess what? You know to pull that $500 out your budget. If you're not paying $500 a month and you're doing what she say and doing whenever she hits you up and the child needs some, you might be spending $300. You might be spending $500. You might be spending $750. You might be spending $1,500. You don't know what you're spending. You cannot budget if you don't know what you got going out. Hell, you know what you got coming in. Budgeting ain't knowing what you got coming in. Budgeting is knowing what you got going out. That's how you budget. You don't know what to cut if you don't know everything you got. And if you don't know this, budget, homies. You understand? We're going to talk about some things on this on this show, man. This channel right here, this channel is about growth as a man. All aspects of manhood. All aspects of manhood. That's what Book of Alpha Running is about, the alpha lifestyle. The entire alpha lifestyle. So yeah, we talking about a plant-based diet, but we ain't talking about eating amber weeds all day, all our whole life eating amber weeds. Who want to be skinny like a woman? You want to be skinny like a woman? Eat weeds every day. Plant-based, 80-20, baby. 80-20 plant-based diet. That's all you need, 80-20. We're going to talk about working out. We're going to talk about body weight. We're going to talk about using resistance bands. Real bands, the bands that the power lifters use to add some extra resistance to 500-pound bench press. I just work out with those bands. I don't want to be. I ain't got to bench press 500 pounds. That shit ain't practical. I bench press 500 pounds, tie my shoulders up, my elbows up. What else can I do for benching 500 pounds? Nothing. It don't matter if I ain't in the gym. So we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things on here. We're going to talk about women. Of course, we're going to talk about women. We're going to talk about how to manage women, how to deal with women, how to do all of these things, how to control women. We're going to talk about how to deal with the woman you in a relationship. If you married and your woman control the marriage, we're going to talk about how to get you in control of the situation. You see, what I am is an alpha motherfucker. That's what I am. I don't know what nobody else is. I don't know what nobody else called themselves. But me, come on, brothers. So we're going to build, man. We're going to build ourselves. Every man in here that listens to my content, every man in the alpha sphere should be improving every month in every way. It don't have to be a big improvement. A small improvement is an improvement. We should be improving in every way. OG is in the building. What's good, bro? SJ3 is in the building. What up, homie? Good to see the homies. And Mr. Beast is in the building. What's good, man? Good to see the homies in the building, man, rolling with me. think I just saw Avery Ave was in the building. What's good, A? Now, let's get back into this, man. So, number 4, helps you budget and manage your available resources by giving you a set amount to pay monthly. Put it to the side, put it on a list with all your other stuff when you count your expenditures versus your available income. Number 5, the number 5 benefit of paying child support, it gives you a possible income tax credit. How many income tax credits do you get? Women get audited. Man, let me tell you something. I know women who milk brothers. Milk them. These brothers allow themselves to be milked. They pay child support and they pay whatever else the woman want. When it comes time to claim no children on child support, she'd rather let her mama claim them than to let that man claim one of the children. He got 3 children with the woman. She'll never let him claim now one of them. Never. He can't even claim them. He pay all that child support. All he can claim is whatever earned income credit they give him for paying child support. That ain't a whole bunch of money. He pay child care. They give him they can give income credit for that. Unless, that's another thing about child care. If you pay child care, get you a lawyer. Go in there with a lawyer and figure out a way to pay child care to the child care provider. If you're just paying her money for child care, they're going to group it in with your child support payment. You got to separate it and use that as a separate itemization. Hey, man, we're going to talk about a bunch of things in here, man. I've been living this life, man, for a while. And I've been living it twice as fast as the next motherfucker. So anybody else who's been living, 30, 35, 40 years, I've already lived 75, 80 years worth of life in that time. So I'm an old man trapped in a young man body. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I define myself. I'm an old man trapped in a young man body. That's why I could take this body and get a pretty young tender and fly her head off more than any man can, because I'm talking to her with the wisdom, understanding, and knowledge of a 75-year-old man. I'm talking to her with the wisdom of a grandfather, but I'm in the body of a handsome, debonair young man. You understand what I'm saying? I am the perfect one to turn a woman out. I am the perfect one to get in her head, man, like I'm a amoeba in her brain. Boy, let me tell you something. I get in a woman's head, man, like thoughts, boy. That's what I do. Now, let's get back into this thing, man. Leroy Clark is in the building. What's up, homie? Let's get back into this thing, man. So it gives you a possible income tax credit, man. And if you work it the right way, man, you can get credit for all of those things separate. The health care, the child care, and the child support. We just have to understand, man. And then when it gets into private school, you pay for private school, man, you can get into that. This is the thing. You got a better chance to get a credit for private care, for private school as the absent parent than she does as the custodial parent. It's hard for her to do that as the custodial parent. These are the things, man, that I've realized, man, and just learned over the years. Now, like we just found out, this is for the state that my son is in. It might be different in your state. So that's the thing. What did we learn here? We learned that you have to find out the laws in your state. I just went over 3 states. I went over Texas, Mississippi, New York, and I tried to find some on California, but I couldn't. But what I did find on California is that in California, the judge may hit you with the child care and the insurance. But I mean, I pay the insurance anyway. So this is the thing. Find out the laws in your area, wherever you are. Even if you're already on child support, go find out the laws, because 9 times out of 10, we'll go to court, criminal court, with an attorney. We'll sell shit to get an attorney, but we'll go to family court by ourselves and defend ourselves against. You can't do that, man. If it says court on the end of it, man, let me tell you something. If I come to the basketball court, I'm bringing my attorney with me. I ain't going to no court. You see me in the mall at the food court, my attorney with me. I ain't going to no court without my lawyer, homie. My lawyer been with my family since my dad was 19 years old. My lawyer about 70 years old right now. But I'm going to tell you what, if I hit him up right now, he gonna I could hit him from a different number. He gonna know my voice. He gonna automatically know who I am, because he been rolling with me. He done got me out of a bunch of things. He done got me out of some things that people couldn't believe I got out of. You understand? And he knows that when it comes to doing the right thing, he never had to get me off for the same thing twice. You understand what I'm saying? So he knows that getting me off is worth it for him. And I know that calling him is worth it for me. Never go to a court without a lawyer, man. Now let's get back into this thing, man. Number 6, it empowers you to proudly claim your position as a father and solidly state your role in fatherhood. You see, if you don't provide for your child, you're not a father. See, if you're not in the household with your child, they already don't call you a father. They don't call you the absentee father. They call you the absent parent. not the absent father. Parenting is not even an old term, it's a fairly recent term. You look at the word of the Most High, he refers to your mother and your father. You look at some of the old laws in the United States, it refers to your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather, your grandfathered in. It never said that your grandparented in. Parent is something that they give you to distance you in your mind from the word father. So I don't call myself a parent. I call myself an absent father. I call myself a non-present father. I am not a parent. That is what they want to tell you. And if you accept that, you automatically accept that you're not a father anymore. You're another word that defines somebody who pays for a child to be taken care of. No, this is what you have to understand, man. We are being manipulated by hyperbole. We are so accepting of this abuse and punishment that we're willing to accept anything they dish out to us. Doesn't matter what it is. We as black men accept it because we're used to being punished. We like being punished almost. We're sadomasochists. That's what we are as black men. How can a black man in 2018 be talking about getting married? Because he's a sadomasochist. He sees how it turns out for other men. He sees what other men go through, but he's still talking about going down there to dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. He still goes down there and he does all of this because he's a sadomasochist. He wants to feel the same pain that his father felt. He wants to feel the same pain that his brother feels. He wants to feel the same pain that his uncles feel, that his friends feel, that his coaches feel, that all of the men he's dealt with in his life feel. That man wants to feel the same exact pain because he's a sadomasochist. He loves pain. Self-inflicted pain or pain inflicted by others doesn't matter. He wants that pain. So it empowers you to proudly claim your position as a father and solidly state your role in fatherhood. How many children do you have? I've got a son. Does he stay with you? No, he stays with his mother, but we have a wonderful working relationship. I provide for my son and I see my son and I spend time with my son and I do things and sometimes we do things together for my son. You know why? Because paying her gives me control over my fatherhood ability. You say, well, she still got the child. Well, she won't let you see him. Oh, let me tell you something. That's why we're going to get into number 8. Number 8, the number 8 benefit of paying child support. It gives you. Hold up, I can skip some, man. Oh, it gives you automatic visitation rights. You see, if your child doesn't live with you, you spend every day without your child. Every day. But what that affords you to do is live your life as a man. You get to reclaim your manhood and live the life that you want to live. See, this is what you have to understand. Don't worry about how much time you get with your young child. Take that time and inbred manhood thoughts into your son's head. Inbred queen ideas into your daughter's head. Inbred these children's minds with information that's going to benefit them immediately once they get out into the world and start dealing with the issues of the world on their own. And you know what they'll do? They'll think of you when they run into the problems of adulthood. They won't go to their mother like they did when they were a child. They don't need her anymore. What they need is your guidance. What they need is your tutelage. What they need is your alpha information. They need you to help them navigate the world because they know you always have, even in the brief periods. In a weekend, I can give my son enough information to last him through a week. The next weekend, I give my son enough information to last him through the week. What we do, we chill, we do the few things that we like to do. Me and my son basically do the same things all the time. Basically do the same things all the time. I've never played PlayStation in the world, man, until my son started playing. I never played PS, never played Xbox, never played any of that. When my son at the crib with me, man, he got me playing. So we sit down, we play that. He likes to do that. I do that with him. That way I get to see how these games are influencing him. Are they making him have thoughts? Or is he thinking these things are realistic? But does he understand they're a game? See, you can't automatically make your child not do any of the things that he finds fun. He has to deal with the world as a young black boy. The same, you remember how that is. Dealing with the world as a young black boy is different from dealing with the world as a young white boy. It's different. So he has to deal with the pressures of understanding that sometimes some situations he's treated differently. So let me tell you about the 4 or 5 of the things that I've taught my son. I've taught my son that you don't let any woman No matter who she is, don't let any girl make you feel like you less than her. Ever. If a girl don't like you, so what? You don't like her. Period. If you at school, he's a kid. So right now at this age, man, there's a possibility that sometime the teacher might have all of them playing the game together. Maybe they playing kickball or baseball or something like that, man. Who knows? But I tell them all the time, anybody, girl or boy, if somebody say they don't want to play with you, say so what? Go play by yourself. Use your imagination. Go play. You like to punch shit and fight and do all that. Go use your imagination by yourself. But never let anybody dish you and then come back to you. My son knows this very well. If somebody say they ain't playing with you, okay, you make sure that they ain't playing with you. When they come back and say, because see, they're gonna look at you, look like you having fun. People tell you things like that because they want you to be bothered by them. They feel like they're so special that you're gonna be bothered by them not playing with you. No, you show them that you're the special one. You show them that they're missing out because you know how to go have fun in the way they don't know how to. They the one feel like they got it. Anybody who makes you feel like, anybody who tries to act like their presence is gonna hurt you, it's because they get hurt when people don't want to be around them. Man, my son will go off and come up with a game by himself, man, be having a blast. He said, man, they come over there and try to play with him. He said, no, I'm good. You didn't want to play with me before. Don't play with me now. And I'm not, just gone. And then my son, hey, if he tell you to go on and you don't go on, he going to tell you one more time. He going to get a little bit more out of you. Say, hey, look, I told you I don't want to play with you. You don't want to play with me, and leave me alone. If you don't do it then, my son going to put hands on you. He has the green light to put hands on you. If I tell you to get out of my face and you stay in my face, I had a right to knock your ass out. But see, because you in my space. Everyone has a personal space. My personal space, I choose my personal space to be about 10 feet. If I don't want you in my space, you need to be with outside of a 10-foot radius. If you come within that 10-foot radius, I'm going to take 2 steps forward. Two steps forward, I think I can lunge at you and knock you the hell out. I teach my son the exact same thing. And that's it. So, now I ain't played no video games, bro. I don't know I don't even know what the controllers do. You know what I'm saying? Well, my son, he teaching me now. Most times I just sit and watch him play though, man. I'll sit and I just talk to him while he playing, man. Ask him questions about it, because I want him to understand that everything he's interested in, I'm interested in it because he's interested in it. I want him to understand that. Like, people try to be friends with their child. I'm not gonna be his friend. He understands we're not friends, but he also understands that because he's my son, I'm interested in things he's interested in just because I need to understand those things so I can make sure that he doesn't get caught up in anything. But as far as playing video games, nah. As a kid, man, I tried them a couple of times as a kid, and they were all right. I preferred to read, man. Like, reading was my shit. Like, while people playing video games, man, yeah, if a new video game come out, yeah, it's fun when it come out. But when I thought about what you have to learn to try to play it, so I've tried to play them, but I never learned how to play them. You know what I'm saying? I'd sit down in front of the thing, man, but I sit down there, I'd be like, man, because I've never wanted to be, like, I've never been able to play like a football game. I can't sit down and play, and I've never been able to. I can't sit down and play a game that's got other people on it, and I'm happy because I'm beating you with a game. You know what I'm saying? It just never felt like a win to me. So it never felt like anything. I never cared enough to learn. So I tried. But as far as like being a video game player, no, I've never been a video game player. I've tried. Just because everybody else is doing it. So you go through one of your partner house, man, and that's what they're doing. You go to your cousin house, that's what they're doing. I sit there for a minute, man, and they sitting there, man, acting all excited about it, man. I try. They laugh at me because I can't beat nobody, man. Man, let me play him next. Man, I play a few times, man, then I bore out. I play about 3 games, man. I be like, man, y'all crazy playing this shit right here, man. Reading has always been my thing, man. So when I tell people I read 5 books a week now, they're like, man, 5 books a week? Homie, when I read the book Roots when I was 6 years old, go find the book Roots, not the movie, the book. The book is thicker than the Bible, man. The book Roots is thicker than the Bible. Man, I read that book in a week as a 6-year-old. So I grew up reading. I've always read. So when I say things like I can't get no information out of a book like 48 Laws of Power, it ain't because I know everything. I ain't saying I know everything. I'm saying there's nothing he's going to say that I haven't already seen somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is, man. I've been reading this way since I was 6 years old, probably before then, but I can't go any further back. Like Dick Gregory had a book, Nigger. I read Dick Gregory book, Nigger, when I read it after Roots. So I've been on Dick Gregory since I was 6 years old. And Dick Gregory is one of the wisest men who ever walked the planet. And I've been following him since I was 6. So think about all the things Dick Gregory has said before he got old and senile. Rest in peace, Dick Gregory. But I was following Dick Gregory, man, when I was 6 years old. And I latched on to him after I read that book, Nigga. And I just kept following him all the way up through, bro. So I've been exposed to information as a youngster. That's why when I say I learned most of my lessons from watching other people, it's true. I learned most of my lessons from watching other people, not because I was so wise that I moved out of everywhere, everything, but I learned from Dick Gregory and other men that I listened to, like him, young Jesse Jackson, like even young Bill Cosby. Young Bill Cosby, man, was on. He was on, boy. He was a wealth of information. So I listened to cats like this as a young kid, and I realized that the best thing I could do was be calm and reserved and patient and think about everything I do before I do it. When I had my son, I planned to have my son. I told my son's mom, yo, I think I'm ready to have a son. And you check all the boxes for what I would want to have in the mother of my child. And so I want this, I want to have my child now. And of course she was with it. So these are the type of thing. This is the way I've always approached life. So that's why I don't talk a whole lot about make money, go buy this, go have this. Man, I've been understanding women, man, since I was 11 years old. Really, since I was 9. You know what I'm saying? My first turnout, man, I was 9. I ain't gonna talk about that, man. That gets into talking about. I feel funny to talk about when I had sex as a child. But I ain't gonna talk about that, man. So I won't get into that. That's another upload, man. But you got to understand, man. I've been when I tell you my granddad told me stuff, my granddad is the reason I read Dick Gregory book. My granddad is the one that had Roots. My granddad is the one that had Dick Gregory book. My granddad is the one who had Iceberg Slim Pimp, the story of my life. My granddad had all these things, man. So you got to understand, man, I'm cut from a different material, man, than most of these cats out here, bro. Most of these cats out here. Ray B is in the building. What up, Ray B? Now, my bad, man, for that little soliloquy, man. I've gone all the way left for a minute. Let's get back into this list. Ken Wood is in the building. What up, bro? I appreciate the super chat, Ken Wood. Homie say, what it do, BoA? Listen to game at my desk is timeless. Yeah, man. I appreciate you being in the joint, bro. Let's get back into this thing, man, and keep it moving here. Now, number 8 thing was it gives you the right to visitation. Somebody said not in New York. I wouldn't have a child in New York then, man. New York and Texas, I already see those 2 places I wouldn't have a child in. California is another place. If I'm going to have a child, I'm going to have a child in the South. Another thing about the South, the women in the South are slow. Even the fast women in the South are slow. So you ain't got to worry about a whole bunch of foolishness going on, man, with a woman in the South, man. They're still kind of brought up on that old-fashioned style, man. And to be perfectly honest with you, Mississippi is one of the last few patriarchies left in the country. You go to Mississippi, you're on a patriarchy. Men run Mississippi. Everybody know it. Women know it. Men know it. Everybody knows men run Mississippi. One of the best places I ever been in my life, man. See, when technology and all of those things start to take over an area, technology is what gives women a fair shake at taking over. Technology. Because technology is their realm. They're more likely to go to a 4-year university and get a degree and then go on and get another degree. So they're constantly in tune with technology. They seek out random information about celebrities and stars and all that. So they figure out how to navigate technology. Technology is the equalizer when it comes to turning a patriarchy into a matriarchy. You go to some of these old societies in Africa or in Russia or in other parts of the former Soviet Union. You go to some of these places that are still patriarchies, man. It is because they lack the technology of the West. Technology is what makes the West a matriarchy. Is what makes the West an evil empire. It's the technology, the ability to manipulate things from hundreds of miles away. That's what caused this equalizer. All right, let's get back into this thing, man. Somebody says George Hill said Hill was up to 23% down here. Yeah, man. When you throw him in, yeah, George kind of rough too, man. George kind of rough too. But George kind of rough on everything. So the next thing is, man, the next benefit of paying child support, it gives you insight into the family court system in your state. So you can be a wealth of knowledge to other brothers facing the same issues. As a man who's gone through something in this country, you should make it your duty to educate other men who are facing the same thing? Why go through the information and keep it to yourself? Why be so bitter about the process that you can't even find the wherewithal to educate other men on that same process? Give other men the information that you have. You don't get information for yourself. It's too late for you. You had to go through the situation to get the information. The information, the experience is for you. But what that experience did is made you a teacher. Everything you learn makes you a more educated teacher. Teachers are what make the world go round. I'm not talking about in the education system. I'm talking about teachers. If you know how to weld, and welding is your career, you got your own welding company, guess what? Your greatest teacher is the one who taught you to weld. The one who taught you to weld in the beginning. The first time you welded something correctly, that is your greatest teacher. Your second greatest teacher. Of course, experience is the number one teacher. And that's what we're talking about right here. This experience makes you a wealth of knowledge for another brother facing the same issue. That's one of the greatest things you can do in the world is arm another man with information to do better in the situation than you did, because you get to claim some of that victory for yourself. You don't have to do it out loud to say, oh, I helped him. That's feminine. But internally, you get to claim some of that victory. You get to. So let's move to the next thing. What it does. Now, this is what child support does for me. And it should do the thing for you if you allow it to. It gives you the intestinal fortitude to put some space between you and the situation if she starts to act ignorant. Because you don't have to talk to her in order to take care of your child. The child's, man, listen, your child's going to be okay. Even men who have never seen their children, those children get to a certain age, man, they want to find their dad. They want to know where their dad is. They want to know who their dad is. They want to know what happened. They want to know the story. They want to hear the other side of the story. As a child, you'll take your mother's side of the story on everything. But as an adult man, you start to realize that women lie a lot. Women are deceitful. And so you feel like, hold up, man. Now, all these women that lied on me, let me find my dad, man, and get the right story from him. So even in that rare and extreme situation, the child still wants to know his father. So if you are in your child's life, you have to ice the situation for a minute. Look, see, it works for me because my son has his own phone. So if I have to ice the situation, I can still call my son and talk to him as much as I want to. Might not see him as much as I want to, because to see him at this age, I got to see his mother. I can pick him up from school, but now you know what? I can pick him up from school and take him right back to school. So to be perfectly honest with you, I can do it without that. But if you need to do that, it gives you the intestinal fortitude to do that, because you're not going to be able to say, well, if I put some space between me and the situation till she get her mind right, then, my son going to suffer. I ain't going to be able to take care of my son. Yes, y'all. Pay child support. You're going to take care of him regardless. If you don't see her no more, you're still going to pay child support. Humble Wolf is in the building. Jay Stacks, what up, homie? Got 51 watching, man. Got 37 likes, man. Telling you, homies, I am free with the information. Come on, be free with the thumbs up. The thumbs up the like should always match the viewership. If not, that means somebody's watching for free and won't even hit the thumbs up, man. Means somebody ain't alpha. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching for free and won't even hit the thumbs up, come on, man. Hopefully you'll learn to be alpha before long, man, so you can hit thumbs up like everybody else. The next thing is this. It gives you a financial leg to stand on in the event you decide to fight for custody, because you have proof. You have on paper proof that by staying current, that the burden of caring for your child is one that you can surely handle. You prove that you can handle that burden, especially if you're paying a decent amount. Now, I mean, unless your baby mama's a crackhead or something, man, or some type of scallywag, if you're on the low end making $15,000 a year and you paying $212.50, you shouldn't be worrying about trying to get custody. You can't afford custody. If you're making $15,000 a year, you can't afford custody. Let that woman keep that custody and you help her out. But If you're a man that's, but if you're that man who made 15,000 and you kept grinding because all you had to pay was $212 a month, and you mess around and caught your come up, you finally got yourself the way you want to be, and you want to go for custody, man. See, here's what you do. This is what you have to do. And I know there are some men out here in the world who won't do this. I've known men who wouldn't do this. They were paying the minimum amount. They were paying child support based on minimum wage. They caught their come up, didn't report their increase in income. Even if you don't report every dollar, you can't go from making $15,000 a year, man, to making $100,000 a year and still even be comfortable as a man, still paying $212, man. No way you can. As a man, how do you keep paying that $100,000, the child support that was set for you at $15,000? It don't make sense, man. Kurt Nujapia is in the building. What up, bro? Good to see you in the building, Kurt. Oh, no doubt, bro. No doubt. Yeah, now some phones be tripping, man. Some phones won't let you hit a thumbs up. I had somebody else say that. Jonathan A is in the building. What's good? Jonathan A, welcome Jonathan A to the Alphasphere. Yeah, it be like there is. So, but we done bumped up now. We got 50 watching, 46 likes, man. I appreciate the homies jumping on in. So you need that, man, because at some point, Mick Darius got custody of both of his daughters. But I bet Mick Darius had to go in there and show he probably been paying child support for him regularly, been providing care for him, and then he went in and saw his chance to get custody. He went in and got it, and they have a record of him providing for those children. See, when you paying child support and you're providing health care and you're providing child care costs, then you're already taking care of the child. And if you're living on your own in your own space, then you're already providing a space for them to stay. Custody gets a whole lot easier when you have that paper trail, brothers. I'm telling you, it really does. So let's get into this last thing on this particular list, man. It's actually less expensive long term than what you would spend as a full-time parent. Now, I covered this in the beginning. It's actually less expensive by a lot than what you would pay as a full-time parent. The average cost, this is last year. Average cost in 2017, and I went to several sources. This is the number that's there for several sources. The average cost of raising a child in 2017 from birth to 17 years old, $233,610. Let's do some math here. If you pay $700 a month, so now $15,000 at 17%, let's do 14%. I'm just gonna use Mississippi, man. I'm gonna use Mississippi. All right, $15,000 for one child. In Mississippi, you pay 15%. All right, 14%. That's $2,100 a year. That's $175 a month. So for one child, you're paying $14,000 a month. This is low end, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You'd be surprised how many brothers make minimum wage out here, man. It's bad out here. So let's do a round number. Let's go 500. Let's do 500. Let's do a nice round number like 500. All right, so let's do 500. That's $6,000 a year. Times 17, that's $102,000. That number, $233,610, that's for 17 years. So it costs $233,610 on average to raise a child from birth to 17. We ain't got into no college costs or nothing. None of that. If you pay $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. In 17 years, that's $102,000. That's not even half of what it takes to raise a child. And that's just the basic of what it takes to raise a child. And like I said earlier, black folks ain't like white folks. White folks buy their children Skechers. White boys don't mind. White boys be wearing cowboy boots to school. They be high school seniors, man, be wearing cowboy boots. Black folks ain't like that. Black folks are fashion slaves. So their children are fashion slaves. You ain't nobody as somebody black if you ain't got on some Balenciaga or so you got on some Jordans. You at least got to have on Jordans. So let's take that 230,000 for black folks up to 250,000. So $250,000. If you pay $500 a month, you ain't paying but $102,000 in 17 years. That leave that woman to pay $148,000. That's if it's 250. If it's more than that, we talking about more. But she got to pay $148,000 or the $102,000. If at $500 a month, you ain't even paying half of what it take to raise a child. So you see what I'm saying? So if you're paying anything less than that, man, you got to think about this. If you're paying $700 a month, $700 a month, you're only paying. Matter of fact, I did that for 18 years. Let's go back. I did 700 for 18 years. Let me do 700 times 17 years. You're only paying $142,000. In 17 years, if you're paying $700 a month, you're only paying $142,000. Cost of the child is $250,000. The woman's still paying. Well, she's paying a little bit less than you now. She's paying a little bit less than you. So paying $700. If you're paying $700, okay, you paying, but even that, as a man, you should be willing to pay 100% of what it takes to take care of your child. That's how we are as black men. That's how we've always been. But right now, we feel so equal to our women that we feel like it's fair for us to only pay 50% of what it costs to take care of our child, even if we can afford to pay more. That's why Russell Simmons didn't trip about paying $100,000. It was okay for him to pay $100,000. He didn't care because he got it. And he feels like he should pay 100% of what it costs to take care of his child because he can. If you can, you should be willing to pay you should be willing to pay the whole $250,000 for 17 years because it's your child. You're the provider for your child. The woman is just an incubator for your child. It is your seed. She just carried it for you. Now you can't be in my stream going hip hop hooray every time I say that the woman is just an incubator and we're the giver of life. And then when it comes trying to take care of that life that you gave, you want to split it 50-50 with the woman. We got to man up, homies. I ain't saying you're supposed to take care of no woman, but she get her own money. But you're supposed to win take care of your child as best you can, man. Boys out here complaining, man, because they don't want to take care of their child. Most of them ain't even paying $700 a month for one child. Hell, most of them ain't paying $500 a month for one child. The average child support payment for men outside of celebrities and athletes, outside of the wealthy, outside of millionaires, the average pay for child support is $430 a month. Most of these boys ain't even paying $500. They're out here complaining because they got to take care of their own child. You should be okay with that. But you know the crazy thing is, when you're in a relationship with the woman, you ain't mind taking care of the woman. But now that you're with the woman, you think like a woman, you don't even want to take care of the child. Well, we had that child together. That's what a woman say. I ain't make this child by myself. He should help me with this child. Now you talking about, I ain't make that child by myself. I shouldn't have to pay all this to take care of that child. She helped me make it. She ain't help you make nothing. She just carried it. I mean, her egg was there. Egg was necessary, but it was just a shell for the spirit of you that you gave. You understand what I'm saying? Kurt Nujapi, I appreciate the super chat, bro. T Studio, I appreciate the super chat, man. Hey, man, I think I be sounding like a preacher in here, man. Somebody told me that. Somebody inboxed me and say, man, you be preaching on that, man. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't preach. Say, man, you be preaching, I'm telling you. You use in church, them people be jumping around, man, jumping the wind, be jumping around doing cartwheel, they dress coming all over their head, talking in them tongues and all that, man. So it's actually less expensive, long term, than what you would spend as a full-time parent to pay child support for many of us. Let's do $1,000, man. Let's keep it real here. Let's do $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. You know I ain't gonna try to do this in my head right now. That's $12,000 a year times 17. Okay. Paying $1,000 a year, paying $1,000 a month, you're paying $204,000. That still ain't all of the $233,000 that it takes for everybody, and the $250,000 to $300,000 that it takes for black children. it is still not the same, man. And let's say you want to send your child to private school, it could get up to 350,000, but we're gonna stay at around 250,000 number. You still ain't doing all of the child care for taking care of your child, man. And the child is like JLJ said, the child is always gonna be more yours than hers. You're the creator of life, homie. If you're the creator of life, take care of your life. Be willing to take care of all of it if you can. But if you can't, at least be willing to give 14 to 17 to 20% of your income for one child. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. If you got 5 children and it costs you more to take care of 5 children, why you complaining? Why your dumb ass lay down and have 5 children? If you got 5 children, you don't have a right to complain about taking care of them. You laid yourself down there and had all them children, take care of them. Talking about child support killing me. You got 5 kids, fool. It was killing you at 2. How the hell you get to 5? Irresponsibility cost. Bad decisions have consequences and repercussions. And as a man, you stand up and take care of your consequences and repercussions for your decisions. Don't be complaining about it. We all have consequences and repercussions for our decisions. China White, what's good? Charlotte, what's good? You need to turn your alerts on. You did something to your alerts. Second time you said you ain't getting no alerts. Man, I've been had this one up since yesterday. I put this one up last night. It should have popped up on everybody. I got a list of them up, man. I probably got, if you go to my page, man, I got probably 6 or 7 live streams coming up, man. I already got them up in the queue. I already got the descriptions and everything in them. The times, you can check them out. Yeah, no doubt. Not, it ain't 17. It varies from state. One child starts at 14% in Mississippi. It starts at 20% in Texas. It starts at 17% in New York. So it just, and all of them go up. But in Mississippi, it tops out at 26. In Texas, it goes to 25 with one child, with 2 children. So Texas tops out at 45. Mississippi tops out at 26. I think New York, if I recall correctly, topped out at 35. So, but that's with 5 children. Texas goes 45% when you got 5 or more children. If you got 5 more children, man, it's going to take half of your income. Going to take half of your income, take care of 5 more children, man. You got to expect that. So, got this young tender, man. I like young tenders, man. I like them. All right, homies. So that's going to do it, man, for this one, man. We covered it all, man. I'm going to go back and do a recap right quick. Let me see. Number 12 is. What we're talking about today, man, is the 10 benefits of paying child support. I am your host with the most, Mr. BoA. You have joined me for a episode of the High Alpha 2 show. Now, disclaimer, I know child support and the unfair nature of the way it is levied against men is a hot button topic right now. Be that as it may, I implore you men to once again join me in attempting to find the silver lining in this particular storm cloud for men. Let's discuss 10 benefits of paying child support. Number 1, it gives you power to push back against being milked by your baby mama. If you pay child support, she can't come to you talking about, you don't do nothing for your child. I need this, I need that. Buy with the child support. Number 2, it teaches you a costly yet valuable lesson in the practice of contraception. You have a child, you're having a hard time with it. Child number 2 shouldn't be coming to you no time soon. Number 3, it protects you from ever being truthfully referred to or feeling like a deadbeat dad. You can't be deadbeat, pay child support. I don't care if your child support is $50. If it's on paper that you got to pay $50 a month, as long as you pay your child support, you can't be a deadbeat dad. You're paying with the system that's against me and you. Believe me, if the system could get more out of your family, they would. They're making you pay what they think is fair. What they think is fair, not what's fair to you, what they think is fair to the mother. See what I'm saying? Child support ain't set up on what's fair to us. It's set up on what's fair to the mother. So they're giving her the fair amount of what you make. But always, man, when your income increases substantially. Now, if you make it 15,000, then you start making 20,000. I mean, you got to make at least. But if you go from 15 to 25, yeah, tell the people, man, you make 10 more thousand a year. 10 more thousand a year, you can knock 17% off that, man, and send the woman something to help out. Now, Number four, it helps you budget your available resources by giving you a set amount to pay monthly, just like the rest of your bills are. You can't manage your budget. You can't manage your money or budget your income, budget your expenditures if you don't know everything you got going out every month. And this helps. Number five, gives you a possible income tax credit. Everybody don't get it, but in states like California, Texas, probably New York, you can get it because you pretty much pay everything. You pay child support, then you pay a separate amount for child care. You pay a separate amount for insurance. Number five, gives you a possible. No, that was number five. Number six, empowers you to proudly claim your position as a father and solidly state your role in fatherhood. No one can say, man, that you can always say, you know what I'm saying? That's my son. That's my son. I'm his father, and I'm an active father in his life. You can always claim the title of being an active father, not one of those deadbeat, one of those those cats that ain't around. You actively, solidly state your role as an active father, which means a lot for me. So hopefully it means a lot for you as well. Number seven, it affords you the luxury of visitation time, which your baby mama can't control. That's in most states. Somebody said that's not in New York, but I think in New York, um, I would look further into that because there's got to be a loophole in that. If not, then I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And this is me. If I lived in a state where I couldn't have set visitation, man, I'd move. I'd move. I wouldn't want to be in the same state with my child, man, and the woman control when I see it. I'd move, man. I couldn't do it. See, I don't have that issue, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can get my. I mean, I can just. I can go pick my son up from school today. So I mean, it's. I don't have that problem, man. I don't want it, and I sympathize with anybody who does have it. So New York is not the place to have a baby. Number eight, it gives you the intestinal fortitude to put some space between you and the situation if she acts ignorant. You're paying child support. You really don't need to contact her unless you got a really small child, but you really don't need to contact her in order to provide for your child financially. You pay child support. You send it in a check. Now, what you don't want to do is go into that situation. That's why I say, man, if a woman say you got her pregnant, man, if she claiming that it's your child, soon as she has a baby, man, matter of fact, you ain't got to wait she have a baby now, man. You can have a pre-birth DNA test, man. So just do it. Take the DNA test. It'll save your mind. That means if any rumor ever comes up that she messed with somebody else while y'all were together, you ain't never got to worry about it being your child. You can drop her and with a open mind and say, I ain't gonna be with you, but I know that's my child. If not, then you got to be wondering, damn, well, I wonder if that's his child or not. It's just too much stress. It's stress that you can avoid, brother. Number nine, it gives you insight into family court system in your state so you can be a wealth of knowledge to other brothers facing the same issues. Each one teach one. That's how we reach one. Number 10, it gives you a financial leg to stand on in the event you decide to fight for custody. By staying current, you prove that the burden of caring for your child is one you can surely handle. Number 11, it's actually less expensive long term than what you would spend as a full time parent. And we've done the numbers on that. You save a few G's. And number 12, hell, what was number 12? Hell, I don't know, man. I ain't got number 12. I forgot number 12. Whatever number 12 was, y'all remember what it was. I don't remember. I made up number 12. I only had 11 on the list. I made up number 12, and then I ain't write it down, so I don't remember what the hell it was. Whatever it was, listen to it. You'll hear me say it. Yo, Humble Wolf. Man, I don't know what the hell all those letters mean, man. Oh, DNA ASAP. No doubt. DNA ASAP. For sure. Got to do it, man. Immediately. Before birth, preferably. So anyway, homies, that's it, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man. I'm glad everybody came in, man. Kicked it with your boy today, man. It's been gravy. It's been top notch. I appreciate it, man. Been real deal. Everybody who came through, the super chats, everybody who gave the input in, man. I just want to come in and shine and recline right quick, man. Let everybody know that the homie BoA was gonna come in here and get it in. We got another show coming up. Let me give you the title of this show, man. I'll be back on at 3. Be back on at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let me check out this I'll be back on at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. The topic for 3 p.m. will be her nightmare of being objectified. Then I'll be back on at 9 p.m. tonight, where the topic will be women seek relationships, men seek relations. If you go into my events, they are all queued up. Tomorrow at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, the early show, I will finally get to the 12 most beta R&B songs of all time. So tomorrow, Tuesday, October 16th, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, be here. If you cannot be here, you will have to catch it on replay, and I might take it down because I'm actually play the songs. So I don't feel like dealing with YouTube and that, man. They starting to do funny things with channels, man. They be using other people's music and all that in it, man. Even though I'm not gonna try to monetize it or anything, man. So be here, man. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow for the 12 most beta R&B songs of all time. But then tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will come back with the 12 most alpha R&B songs of all time. So y'all join me, man, and I will continue to promote the shows, man, throughout. And I appreciate everybody coming through, man. So at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be here with her nightmare of being objectified. Be here or be banned from the alpha sphere. Appreciate everybody coming through. Jonathan, hey, I appreciate it, homie. Hollywood Hawkins, man, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you coming through, doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? Working the wrench, man, as usual. Unfortunately, man, we didn't get a chance to use the wrench today. I actually enjoyed using the wrench yesterday myself, man. I've been blocking people all week, man. Since I did the Donald Trump joint, man, I've been blocking people all week. I don't even respond to them. They say something crazy, man. I just kick them out the atmosphere, man. Jonathan, hey, man, I appreciate that, brother. Shot 5, peace out, homie. J Stacks, peace. My city, 100, homie. T Studio, no doubt, bro. No doubt. Got to keep it preaching, man. So, that phone over here, man. No doubt, J Stacks, man. They up, man. They up. I'm gonna lead them boys up. I got some I'm about to take down, man. And I'm gonna do them over because the quality was a lot worse. It was a bunch of fading in and fading out and slowing down, and a bunch of what do you call it, man? When the thing be slowing down, man, like it's resetting. There's a word for it. I forgot what it was, man. But you know what I'm talking about. That right there, man. It was a bunch of what is called, man? When the video like be stuttering and things, man. There's a word for it, bro. I can't even think of it. Man, somebody throw that word in there, man. It's like a slight video interruption. What's that term, man? Buffering. Yeah, there you go, JLJ. Yeah. I listened to some of the older streams, man, and there was a whole bunch of buffering and the sound quality was bad, man. A whole bunch of static, man. A whole bunch of everything, man. So I'm pulling those down, man. I'm gonna retouch them. I'm gonna retouch those topics, man. You know, I'm just gonna redo the entire things, man. Create different lists, create different information, just redo them, man. I got about maybe 8 that they just sound terrible, man. I can't believe, man, that I put them up and left them up. Magic Matrix was in the building with us. So I can't believe I left them up, man. I mean, they sound horrible, man. I feel bad, man. I feel like I did disservice to the Alphasphere Dojo. Doug, peace out, homie. JLJ, peace out. Ken Wood, peace, homie. So anyway, homies, we're going to bounce on out of here. Avoid the haters, avoid the fakers, avoid the betas. And it's always, alphas up, betas down. Homies, peace.